Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Friday, September 26, 2025. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the Senior Minister of the Sunshine Cathedral. With me today are Bishop Robert Griffin, my husband, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, not my husband, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall. We are the Queer God Squad. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about us.
Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. There is no streaming TV show like this in the entire world.
In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots magazine, with Queer News Tonight sharing over 11,000 stories and 11 million views so far in 2020. So far. Can we do that again? Sorry.
Not me having a stroke.
Just keep going.
No,
If you just keep going, then they'll edit out. So just keep going.
Gosh. In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots magazine, with Queer News Tonight sharing over 11,000 stories and 11 million views so far. In 2026, we will produce Pride Fort Lauderdale, Stonewall Pride in Wilton Manors, and Pride Fest Caribbean Festival.
We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral Perspective. Does the Queer God Squad know of any queer gods? In a word, yes.
Apollo, the Greek god of music, poetry, and healing, had relationships with both men and women. His love for the Spartan prince, Hyacinthus, is a famous legend.
Zeus, the king of the gods, had a wife and many lovers, one of whom was a young Trojan man named Ganymede.
The Norse god Loki is a trickster figure who is known for his shape-shifting abilities, which he used to transform into animals, including a mare who gives birth to an 8-legged horse. This fluid gender identity is a key aspect of his character.
The Shinto sun goddess, Amaterasu, is said to have had a female partner, a goddess named Ame-no-Uzume.
Of course, there are a few queer aspects of the Christian deity as well. In Scripture, the Supreme Being is described in male, female, neutral, and even innate terms. One prophet compares God to the rainbow.
The deity can, depending on the story setting, be he, she, it, or they. The deity transgresses long-established norms, having elderly women conceive, and a man brings forth life from his body like a woman giving birth. Moreover, God declares both women and men to be made in the divine being's image. That 21st century humans still struggle with the notion of a divine reality is itself a pretty queer enterprise. But even more simply, and obviously, some traditions feature and celebrate queer deities. You know, Bishop Long used to say, if horses had gods, their gods would look like horses. And so I think it's, of course, I think queer people should have queer gods. I have a very queer Christology, and I'm always delighted to see queer figures in Scripture. The idea of God is queer. I mean, for heaven's sake, if you are both, was that hymn? Our God is not a woman, our God is not a man, our God is both and neither. Our God is I who I am. So the idea that you are beyond gender restrictions, that you're ageless, that you love everybody, it's just that people get you. Like, you're around and they get you, but no one's ever seen you. It's just a very queer idea. And so we don't have a lot of gods like other religions do, but the one we got I think is a very queer figure. You make a guy out of dirt. You make a woman out of the guy's rib. He gives birth to her through his side. Would you come up with a queer story, please? I mean, that is. So I think we've got a pretty queer God as is.
I've never, as a kid, that was a construct of God. It's been man, and God who did a lot of things. And I think as I even read stories of the different gods, that was that one God that was always supreme God for some reason. But I think, again, over the years I've grown, God doesn't really, the construct of God is just too confine it and say this is God or this is what God looks like. That there are many gods for me, and so when I pray to Him, I said, "Oh God, I'm not even thinking of a particular God in mind. It's just God, and whichever one happens to listen, if you will, want to put in that construct, in that moment, that's what I'm willing to go with. But life for me is just too short to say this is what God looks like. This is the only way God can function. This is the only thing God can be. When you have these type of historical images of what God looked like that we just read about, it's too limiting to say this is only God. No, I'm open.
Right. Same thing. I kind of grew up with that Santa God idea, God up in heaven on the throne, that kind of thing. But this kind of list, I think it encourages us to kind of look beyond what we've always assumed, what we've been taught, what we feel that we know, to realize that it's not just what we know. There's a lot of different stories out there. This is remarkable.
What is so much fun for me is that in these stories, there are whole kinds of different gods. Not all of the gods are sweet and gentle. Some of the gods are like Loki, tricksters, out there to do funny things with you. So yeah, I think that those gods represent what the writer was thinking at the moment. Doesn't mean that there is some powerful being that's pulling all of the strings, just that the writer was having fun, and we should have fun with the writers.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yep, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we're not without our own trickster god. I was making sure I wasn't doing product placement. Because remember this story? I made you 11 minutes ago. You are brand new. You don't know anything. And this whole situation is all for you. You can have all of it, except for this one thing that I'm pointing out, putting in your face, putting no guard around. Don't eat anything with this. Right here, this thing I'm pointing out to you that you didn't even know about before. But here, this one. Don't do anything with this one. See ya. Unsupervised, no protection, not hiding it. See ya. Then here comes the talking snake and says, that's bullshit, right? You can eat it. And they do, and they're fine. They get booted out of their lease is torn up because they disobeyed, but they're fine. And we are not with our own trickster gods.
I like that.
Yep.
Well, I just think that there's multiple ways God can be in our lives. And I think however God shows up, whatever that means, just let it be.
Yep.
Well, that's today with the Queer God Squad.
Before we go, I want to invite you to check out our Performing Arts series. Yes, the season is upon us. Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts has a great acts lined up for 2025 and 2026 season. Here is a taste of what is coming up.
Golden Ghouls. Picture it. Halloween 2025 will be on our stage one night only, October 25th.
Then on November 7th, we welcome back Miss Coco Peru and Fuck This Shit. If this show is like her other tour de force, there will be storytelling, laughs, singing, and a moral tie up for the evening. Or maybe this is one entirely different. You'll have to come to the show to know for sure. But you already know it's going to be one of the best nights of comedy and drag artistry you will ever have enjoyed all year.
December 7th brings Matthew Darren's annual holiday Fantasia, always amazing, and this year it will again be co-hosted by Varla Jean Merman.
And in 2026, there are already some great shows lined up, such as selections from Pearly, a musical based on the play Pearly Victorious by Ossie Davis on February the 7th. For more information about these shows and others and to secure your tickets, go to sunshinecathedral.org/arts.
Please like and share this episode on your social media and look for Sunshine Cathedral on Facebook or Instagram.
You can also like our individual pages on Facebook. Remember to visit sunshinecathedral.org frequently. There you will find Bishop Talk, where Bishop Darrell and I interview queer religious leaders, activists, and scholars.
Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that we're all in this together, and also remember that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Bye.